Hey Elle, my name is Sarah, and I would like to say if you're watching this on the 31st, then have a happy New Year's Eve. We are about to leave 2020 in the dust, and if you're watching this on January 1st, then happy New Year's and welcome to 2021. Please do better than your predecessor. And what better way to end the year and start the New Year's than with a book review on A Warm Heart in Winter by J.R. Ward, a Caldwell Christmas book. Oh boy. Right off the bat, I give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I do say so myself. And not only was it good, but it messed with my heart, people. This story focuses on Blay and Quinn and where they are in their relationship, and we are getting ready to celebrate Christmas because, the vampires are taking up the human holidays. Oh my god, I can't wait for April Fools and Halloween. But what's supposed to be a, preparing for Christmas Eve spirit and everything, the brothers get hit by a blizzard. So we are stuck in close quarters, as we all can relate to, and certain events happen. I would also like to say this also has a little bit of Z in here as well, because we get some focus points on the male, which I really liked so much. We see how far he has progressed since the earlier versions of the book series, and I'm like, that's really remarkable on everything he's gone through to get to the point where he is right now. So that was really nice to see. And I must say about this book, I was bamboozled. I was expecting a happy Christmas book. What I got instead, again, this was my heart, people, and I can't really tell you what happens because, again, this is non-spoilers. So let's just end non-spoilers right here, right now. A Warm Heart in Winter by J.R. Ward, a Caldwell Christmas book. 5 out of 5 stars. Bye, non-spoilers. Spoilers. So we start this book off just like how the first Caldwell Christmas book started off with a chapter dedicated to us humans. And I was like, okay, we just need the humans now to get the plot going. I will accept that. Let's just get this plot going. And by that, I mean, we have 2 young sisters, one that has a driver's permit, and the one that has a motor mouth that's just pointing out all the flaws in this plan. And Terry, the younger sister, and Elle, the older one that's driving without supervision, gets stuck. Well, they swerved off to avoid an animal, and here's Elle thinking I did the right thing, while her other sister's like, Dad's gonna find out, and I'm gonna tell him you made me come here, and blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. And she's like, Terry, shut up. I'm supposed to be babysitting you, so I brought you along to keep an eye on you. Yes, but who's keeping an eye on you? I don't see anyone else. It's like, oh my god, sisters, shush. We're stuck in the middle of nowhere, and it's snowing. I don't know what part of town we're at. What should we do? Oh look, there's a tow truck, which in reality is a tow truck, but it is operated by Quinn, because he's on standby. Which I really feel sorry for, because here's Elle trying to get some help, and here comes out Quinn, and we all know what Quinn looks like. So of course, a young preteen human with a scared sister and a vehicle off the road would automatically think, axe murderer, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill my sister. I am sorry, Dad. I made a mistake, but I won't be able to tell you, while the younger sister is freaking out in the car. It's like, Quinn, I am so sorry about that, even though he's being really nice. Back at the mansion, Blay, he's just enjoying his night off, just relaxing, going through a magazine, and here comes Biddy asking all these questions, and I'm like, what questions are these? Turns out there is a party planning committee, and she is doing her little reconnaissance, asking questions, gathering data, information to plan future events, and of course, Blay has to ask, who's in charge of the committee? Oh, Lester, of course. So she's asking him these cute little questions like, Christmas, wedding cakes, and everything. And he's like, are you asking about holidays or food? Both, because my daddy. And he's like, okay, that makes sense too. But that also makes Blay think that they haven't had a proper mating ceremony, him and Quinn. And it's just, now in the back of his mind. And again, what I mean about the plot for humans is that while Quinn is helping these girls, these guys come out, try to mug him. Quinn's not having all that, and he tells the girl to get in the car. The girl gets in the car, and she pushes her sister Terry down. It's like, stay down, don't come up. And Elle's just like watching what's happening. Mister, look out behind you. And here's Quinn just batting these guys around until one of them stabs him, and he looks down and is like, really? Now he's having a good day, and he still shoos off the guys, and I swear, he is more irritated about getting stabbed by a human. And it's like, okay, now we gotta watch out for humans, which I found interesting because here are the brothers who have fought off multiple lesser attacks for how many centuries, and the humans don't really do much, and now they're taking them out by simple stab, stab, stabbity, stab. I'm like, okay, brothers, we need to keep an eye on the humans, because yes, they can slip through our guards by, stupidity, but still, stab. And because he was nearby, Z got the call, and he also saw the humans running off, and there's the little girl screaming in the car. There's Elle, like, wanting to check on Quinn, and Quinn's laying on the ground, like, this is gonna be a problem. And Z is like, sup? And it's like, yeah, can you go help those kids first? They need to get home. And oh my god, see? I know you're good with kids, but we gotta work on that smile, because here he literally lifts the car out of the bank, and Alice like, oh, he's strong. And he puts it back down, he gets in the car, just like put the car back in neutral and start it up, and the little girl, Terry, is like screaming, like, get away, and he's like, please, move. And he puts the car in the neutral, turns it on, it's like, okay, go down that way. He puts that in Alice's mind so she doesn't get lost. It's like, I get it, you don't like messing with humans and everything, but Quinn on the snow bleeding does point out, we gotta be a little bit nice to humans, because, like, Nala is gonna grow up, she's gonna go into the human world, and you would at least like some humans to be nice. And he's like, she's not leaving the house. Oh, Z. Quinn is more annoyed with the knife that he got stabbed with, especially when he's brought back to the mansion, while Blay, on the other hand, is reacting in a perfectly logical way. You have a knife in you! Is he okay? Doc, did anything hit him vital? Is he gonna be okay? Is he gonna need surgery? Is everything alright? Is he gonna die? It's like, okay, Blay, we got this. He's good, everything missed, anything that's very important. We're just gonna take him in the surgery, maybe an hour tops, and he'll be good. And Quinn is like, see, I told you nothing was wrong. And Blake's like, ah. In this book, we get a very good focus on Lucas, Quinn's brother, who I honestly forgot was in the mansion, and how he is still recovering from his injuries from raids that apparently took 3.5 years ago, but in my soul and in my mind, it feels like it's been 10 or so years. And he's talking to Blay. Quinn didn't mention that he's part of the royal guard for the royal family, and Blay kind of remembers how he identified Quinn's family's bodies, and Lucas was there, and then they still found him with Lash, and that he died, and he's brought back multiple times, and I don't remember that. Am I a bad person? Because if I am sorry, Lucas. I completely forgot about all this. I am sorry. As Quinn is recovering after surgery, Blay goes down, for the nightly meeting with all the brothers. Everyone's there. Everyone's in their usual spots. Wrath is all grumpy, asking Tor, is everyone here? And Tor's like, yes. It's like, take away, Weatherman. So everyone's getting ready to listen while the single human is skulking around, replacing drinks for diet soda. When all of a sudden, the doors fly open. Here comes in a person wearing a Marvel super suit that's way too tight and way too small on him. I think it's a Thor outfit. And lo and behold, it's Lassiter. And everyone's like, who invited him? And Lassiter's like, I predict a storm is upon us, so we might as well get close to one another and open up about our personal things, because we will have nowhere to go. I believe this is the appropriate reaction to this announcement. I don't care what any of you say, the angel cut in. You're going to get used to me because there's no Easter coming our way. We're going to be snowbound inside for days and days and days. It's gonna be all of us here on the mountain together, sharing and caring. There was a pin drop pause of silence. Then Fee spoke up. Who wants to leave right now? Everyone jacked their dagger hands up on a oneer, including the human in the background, because again, I think we can all relate about being stuck inside for quite some time with people, especially Lassiter. So even though the angel's like insulted and everything, I'm like, yeah, I'm packing the car, I'm heading down the mountain. Y'all want a carpool? We'll stop by at Denny's. I also like to point out that I thought that the human thing was just, again, a plot device to get the story rolling, but we actually do get a couple more chapters of Elle and her family. We find out her parents are divorced. She's living with her dad. She finds out her dad's actually been seeing someone for quite some time, and she's like thinking, no, is that the reason for the divorce and everything? He's like, no, it was just your mom and I were starting to fall out of love and everything, that kind of stuff. And we do get to meet Elle's mom, and you can see she's not in a really nice place at the moment. So going based off of J.R. Ward logic, either this is gonna not really pertain to the main story like how the first chapter was in the last Christmas book, or when, you know, that drug lord's sister came to take over the family business and get revenge by taking out a sale, which thus had Sola avenging her mail and getting points by the brothers, or J.R. Ward's gonna pull the rug under us and show how important these chapters are. So I did not like this. One, either it had no meaning to the plot, and I was like, okay, I can easily forget and not care about you, or two, it's gonna sucker punch me and I'm gonna be on the floor crying. Which way is it gonna be? And while we're thinking about that, everyone's down at the table. I believe it's like first meal or something. Everyone's enjoying themselves, and Quinn just looks at Lassiter for a split second, and Lassiter's like staring him back in the eyes, very serious. I'm like, Lassiter, what's about to happen? Because you being all deity and stuff have certain abilities to foresee things, and I know you can't see anything, but when you look at someone like that, that is just foreboding written everywhere. And lo and behold, it begins. The blizzard. And just to put it out there, I have no clue how blizzards work. I am in Texas, in an area that just gets hit by a typical hurricane and flooding waters that I can easily sleep through and just get, again, irritated in the morning when it's flooded. Or we just get the casual, every blue moon, 30 degrees defrosting of a car, unless, you know, it's just hot during the whole winter. So I don't know how blizzards work, but is this a normal blizzard? Because it just hits like an 18-wheeler. It just, the guys are chilling in the pit, playing foosball, or, you know, pole, or whatever you call it, and all of a sudden, and they're like, it's about to get real. And by doing so, things are flying outside. Everyone's trying to catch it with this 100-mile-per-hour wind, dropping temperatures, can't see squat, and everything's just going insane. I'm like, again, is this how blizzards work? And not only that is happening, the power goes out. The shutters aren't working. At least it's night right now. So we're thinking, what's going to happen when it comes to daylight? So we're trying to regroup, trying to figure out what's going to happen. Everyone's thinking, okay, we got to go outside. And Mally, put the shutters down. I'm like, I'm a Texas girl. I'm not going outside. I will start the fire in the fireplace with the doggin, because the doggin aren't too happy because they are getting ready for, I believe it was last meal or first meal, one of the meals, and they're not happy about this because the power's out. And Fritz's like, what about the bread that we're making? It's going to go bad. Okay, we'll be okay. But everyone's figuring, yes, we gotta go put the shutters out, outside, down, manually. And here's Balthazar, him with his 2 cents, saying, yeah, good luck trying to dematerialize when you can't see up from down. You're heading about 30 feet from the distance from our roof. How about you send the actual thief out there who did this for a living, and we can get it done by my standards. And Z is like, we're still putting a line on you. While Team Brothers are getting ready, Team Quinn and Blade, they're getting ready as well, and they gotta go through the garage, which, again, I have to say, what is with the freaking coffins? I mean, they are just in there, in the garage, all 13. Quinn sees them. He's like, I don't need no Dracula crap happening to me right now. And it's like, why do you keep teasing us like this, J.R. Ward? What are in the coffins? Can I take a peek but not get attacked by what's in there? I have seen season 1 of The Strain. I saw what happened. So if I opened up the coffin, am I going to get attacked? Because if I am, can you put them where I can't see them? Either way, Quinn and Blay are ready, and they are going to go take care of their part of the shutters. And when they're out there, you know, they have the ladder. Blay is holding it for Quinn. He figures out how to put it down. It's kind of difficult in the process, but he senses something off, something about the blizzard, and he kind of looks around. He could just get that weird feeling, even though I'm like, is there something out there that I can't see? Because literally I can't see anything. I just see white and I hear wind, and it's not good. But you know, they got to move on. And there on the other side of the mansion is Balthazar and Z. So they got a nickname for Balthazar. It's Balz, B-A-L-Z. But I was like, I like the nickname B because we got Z, and then we got V, now we got B. And him and Z actually do make a good team, because here he is Spider-Manning it, and Z is not having all of that, because he's like pulling on the tug line saying, hey, yeah, I can pop you off of this and we can call this whole thing off. And there's Balthazar being all like, but we gotta get it down and everything, it's gonna be problematic. And here he's just cat scaling, and I'm like, please be careful, please be careful. But they start getting their side working, so we are making progress. And this is the part in the blizzard where I get like, what the hell? Because we make progress. The shutters are going down. B and Z only have one more left. So again, we're just about done. Run managed to get the generators going. Lights are back on. Everyone is celebrating. Yay! Then why does this happen? Because the lights go out. We hear a scream at the top of the stairwell, because that's where Beth and LW and Wrath are. So someone fell. Luckily, Wrath, with his no able to see thing, was able to catch LW by the onesie and hold on to his mate. So like, we avoided that situation. But we also have Butch and Rage running out of the library because a tree smashed in through the window. A giant pine Christmas tree, and wind is coming in. Temperatures are dropping. What the hell? And then all of a sudden outside, here is B and Z. They're getting ready for that last shutter. And that's when the power comes on. And then all of a sudden, Balthazar gets electrocuted, and he's on the ground, and Z is trying to do CPR because Balthazar is not breathing. He's calling out for help. I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? Is this a normal blizzard? Is there something behind this? I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Luckily, Quinn and Blay were in the library where the giant hole was, and they hear Z whistling and calling for help, and they go outside and they see that, yeah, we smell burnt flesh and burnt hair. Balthazar's not breathing. Z's telling Blay to do the breathing part of the CPR while he's, you know, doing the CPR and everything. I'm like, I'm freaking out and everything, and he breathes like, I'm like, okay, we gotta move him. We gotta move him back inside. When this happens, the male's eyes popped wide and the dilated pupils focused upward. Then the head swiveled towards Z. In a voice that sounded all wrong, Bal said in the old language, she is here. The demon is back. Davina! Are you doing this? Are you causing this? Are you behind this blizzard? Because if you are, this is war. Okay? Okay? You can fight all you want on the battlefield, but if you're causing this on days before Christmas Eve, this is war. You came after my brothers. You came after them when they were trying to do a job, trying to help the family. And you do this? You cause this blizzard? This is war. And because B said this in front of Z, this is how I like to see how far we've actually progressed with Z, because he thinks for a second it might be the mistress coming back. And he has a moment by himself, and Mary's there, and they talk things out, and you can actually see the connection them two have, both as friends and as both client and therapist, and they just have a moment together. And again, you can see how far that he is willing to do to move forward to better himself, because he knows that he can't get rid of his past because it's going to be with him forever, but he won't let that stop him. As we're getting everything under control and stuff, we're checking things out. Z did go check a tunnel because he did smell some wind, so maybe some wind got through this tunnel, and it's apparently the emergency exit and everything. The windows are boarded back up, especially the ones that got crashed because the tree took out the one in the library. We also have one that was taken out upstairs in the playroom. Luckily the kids weren't there, and everything's calm, everything is chill. We make it through the day, no problems, everything's relaxed. I'm relaxing on the rug because I don't want to go to bed because I had a terrifying night and I just don't want to move. Thank you. Quinn does go check up on Lucas because we didn't check on him at all during the whole fiasco. And Quinn does go to Lucas's room. He's not in there. Checks around, not there. Okay, he might be at the pool. He likes being around the pool. Not at the pool. Oh, yeah, he doesn't like coming upstairs to eat first and last meal. He's usually where, us pre-trans used to go during training to go in the cafeteria and eat. All those days, because when they were just kids, oh my god, so fond memories. Quinn does go, to the cafeteria. Lucas isn't there. Lucas, where are you? Because I'm starting to get scared, as well as Quinn. Quinn comes back up to the mansion. He can't find Lucas. He asks Fritz, and Fritz is like, no, he hasn't been up here. And Blade notices Quinn looking around, and so they go to V to, go through the cameras to find anything. And then we find out why Z smelled that fresh air in the emergency tunnel. Lucas went outside during the blizzard. This was supposed to be a Christmas book. Yes, we were supposed to have some drama and everything, but it was supposed to be happy, heartwarming, very soul-lifting, making us feel nice, warm, cuddly around our favorite brothers. J.R. Ward, you have bamboozled me, because Lucas went into that blizzard when everyone was saying nothing could survive overnight. Y'all can see where I'm going with this. They fear that they're not going to find anything left of Lucas because they came. And we know what happens to vampire bodies. Well, Quinn and Blade go searching, and they actually do find Lucas miraculously, his body having survived the sun, but Lucas did pass away. And I haven't felt like this, not with Trez and Selena, but I haven't felt this way since, we'll see. I was like, this was where my heart kind of broke, people, because Lucas went out there to die. And I was like, I did not expect that at all. None of the brothers especially did, and of course Quinn wanted to bring him back, but he figured this is where his brother wanted to be, so he asks V to do the job, which he does. And when they're back inside, he realizes that's why Lassiter looked at him. Lassiter knew this was going to happen, and he didn't stop it. And of course, after thinking rationally, he has those rules that he has to abide by being a deity, and he's very close to these brothers. So of course it's going to harm him. He can't do anything, and Quinn understandably takes his anger out on Lassiter, and he gets pulled off. But Lassiter's like, just let him go at it, and Quinn just gets upset and leaves. And what also puts in more of the emotion is that not only does Blade find a letter that Lucas left to Quinn, because it's written in the old language saying brother mine, Quinn doesn't read that letter for like a week, because in his mind he figured that would be like a final closure, and he doesn't want that to happen. It's his way of not really coming to terms and not feeling like he has to move on in a way. And he also realizes that maybe that was who I sensed out in the blizzard that day when he felt something off. Maybe that was Lucas. And it's like, again, I did not expect this in this book. After all that is said and done, Z, I love you very, very much. I love you dearly to my heart. But whenever you have your version of an intervention, I get a little nervous because your truth is very blunt. It's very up there. It's very in your face. Nothing filtering it. And Quinn hasn't been coping very well. But again, Z is straightforward with him. And basically he says, you need to find a way to cope with this because you have people relying on you and everything. That is the nice version that I'm giving you because again, he's very up in Quinn, telling him the facts. Appreciate it. Even Quinn does because he has a moment where he does, open up to Z and he cries over the death of his brother because he hasn't been properly able to say that or properly mourn Lucas's passing. And we also know that Blay feels a little bit responsible because he was the last person to actually have a proper conversation with Lucas, and he mentioned the thing about Quinn being part of like the royal guard for the royal family, and he didn't tell Lucas about that, so he kind of feels like maybe I was the one that broke the camel's back, but Quinn in his mind knows that that wouldn't have done it for Lucas, so something must have happened. And so Quinn decides to wait for Blay to come home because Blay went to go see his family for a little bit. He waited for Blay to come home and they read the letter together. So in a way that also brought them back because they were sort of distanced even though they were next to each other for the past 7 days. And they read the letter and Lucas basically, says it's not your fault. And it's just, I've been through so much. Like he also mentions how Lash and the Lessers only kept him alive just because they were interested on reanimating him over and over again. So he just went through that cycle so many times, and he felt like he just wanted to finally, he was just finally tired and he didn't want to come back again. So, but he also asked Quinn to go back to the old house because he had left something hidden there and he just never had the chance to do something this brave, and he wanted his brother to finish out his last wishes. So it's like we read the letter. Quinn and Blay got the closure they kind of needed, and Quinn has his final mission to honor his brother's words. So that was a little heart moment, and I was really sad. And it's like I am gonna miss Lucas in a way because he had his own demons to deal with. And as Quinn was thinking, I would have been interested in seeing like if he was able to actually have overcome his difficulties and continuing on with life and what would have happened because we knew he was good with the twins and everything. But again, Jared Ward went for a realistic ending, and Lucas was just finally tired and he just wanted to stop. So I was like, that was really sad, really, really sad. Quinn does go back to the old house to again finish Lucas's last wish, and the humans that bought it really did the house really interestingly because renovations and all that stuff. And he does have a little chit chat with the owner of the house, Ron. Hey, what's up? Okay, make sure you take care of those feet and everything. And he realizes that all the floor is marble, so he's like, whatever Lucas wanted me to get, they probably picked it up and threw it out to replace it for all this marble. Oh my god, what do I do now? My brother's last wishes. And what's up with the brothers keep getting caught by humans, especially kids, because there's the little girl in the house like, mister, what are you doing here? And he's like, hi. And the kid's like, that's my brother's room. It was my brother's room as well. Oh, so you lived here. Are you here to hurt us? No, I'm just here for something. Oh, okay. Seriously, y'all keep getting caught by human kids. But Ron, the hero that he is, he kept the letters, figuring, the owner might come back one day for them. And Quinn was like, thank God. And Z did kind of tell Tor, rotate me out with someone else because he was with Blay. And Blay figured out that Z purposely did this because he was supposed to be out with Pain. But again, Z, with his forwardness, does make it through to Blay. And they go to check on Quinn, and Quinn sees them after the little girl points them out. And he's like really glad that they did show up. And he looks back at the old house knowing he's never gonna come back. And there's a little girl in the window, Quinn. And he leaves. So it's like the girl's like, wow. We open the envelope and there are letters, and there is some tissues wrapped in the ball, and there is a name. And we figured out that Lucas had actually hid this the day, like minutes before the raid happened to their house, because there's like an old stain of blood, so like he had just put that in the floorboard right before the letters came in. So it's like, wow. And we have a name and an address written on there. Who is Anna Sophia Laval? And we're like, is she human? Is she a vampire? Because that's a human name. Maybe it was an alias name for a vampire that the family would not approve. That meant that Lucas was seeing someone that the family didn't know about. And as we know about the Glimera and their strict rules, if she was not a female of worth, that would not, happen. But if she was a human, that would just broken like all the taboos in the family. Even Quinn is like, could this have been true? And V does look up Anna Sophia, and we find out it's not an alias for a vampire, meaning she's a human. And Blay and Quinn take the envelope full of the letters and of the tissues, and they go to the apartment complex. I'm like, I was here earlier. No, J.R. Ward. Oh, she did this. She pulled the rug under my feet, because they go to the apartment to see Anna Sophia, and it's Al and Terry's mom. Lucas was seeing a human. Because it's very wolf children like. They were in the same classes at university. They were both in the back, keeping to themselves. They were very quiet, and it all started with a simple hi. Things were already not doing so well for Anna Sophia and her marriage. And Lucas was there as a friend, just talking, just being there. And then it just became where they were looking forward to seeing each other again every time. And she basically, said she didn't know how this would work out and everything. And then just like the one time that they were supposed to like actually get together and have like at a restaurant and talk and like everything after after establishing their friendship and everything, Lucas didn't show up. And Quinn asked how long ago was this, and she told him, and it's like he was supposed to meet her on the day of the raids. And she reads the letters, and Quinn sees one of them, and he sees how fast written this last one was, because he knew this was the last letter. And Lucas was telling Anna Sophia how much he loved her and that he wanted to spend his life with her. And in the tissues was an engagement ring. He was going to propose to her that day. He was going to forsake his family and their traditions and their roles, and him being the first born son to carry on the bloodline, and he was going to marry a human. Imagine if he had left a few minutes earlier and had met Anna Sophia. He would not have been there during the raids. His family would have died, but he would not have been there. Would he have come back? Would Lucas have come back to his family and to Quinn, or would he have decided to stay away and start a new life with Anna Sophia? Would he have he would have had told her he was a vampire. How would that relation happen? What would have happened? Would they have had a kid together? I don't know. All of the what ifs, that day, if Lucas had left just a few minutes earlier. Why, J.R. Ward? Why do this to me? Because Anna Sophia knows that she won't see Quinn again. Quinn says to her that Lucas is waiting for her. So live a long, happy life. He would want that for you. Because Lester did confirm with Quinn that Lucas did make it to the Fade. He didn't die by his own hands. He was murdered by the Blizzard. Because Lester can go around the rules every now and again and interpret it different ways. So Lucas did pass on to the Fade. His brother did finish his final wishes, and he is going to be there waiting for Anna Sophia. We get close to the end of the book where Quinn does go to first meal after some time. Blair's a little nervous. Everyone's enjoying their meal. I'm enjoying my eggs and bacon. And then Quinn was it with the brothers and being very dramatic when it comes to showing emotions, because he just jumps up from his chair. Blake is like, oh my god, medic, he's about to seize or something, and he goes down to one knee and he properly proposes to Blake and says, I want to have the mating ceremony. And everyone is like starstruck and like, congratulations. Well, over here I'm just like, okay, I'm going. I have a date with someone right now. And that's when the party planning committee does have its first party planning moment, because Quinn wanted to get, mated right then and there, but especially the doggers were like, we gotta plan stuff, so you just sit tight. They do have the mating ceremony, everyone's so happy and everything. Biddy did get to put her requests into play, because she does put a wedding cake for Blay and Quinn and everything. And at the final moments, Quinn not only gives back Blay his family's signet ring, but he also gives the ring that Lucas had, because that was supposed to be for, the male of the family, and Lucas had given it to Quinn, and they exchanged rings as a married, mated couple. So happy. And we get a moment with Anna Sofia finally accepting everything, ready to move on, and she's there for her girls that she hasn't been there for quite some time, and she's ready to be the mom that she can be to her daughters, knowing that Lucas will be there waiting for her. And we don't question as to Balthazar's cryptic message, because if it was Davina, I am mad. And that is the end of spoilers. This book bamboozled me. It pulled the rug under my feet, because I did not expect that. I was expecting this to be, again, a Christmas, heartfelt, heartwarming book. Something that the family can enjoy. But no, J.R. Ward decided, I'm not going to make it easy on y'all this time. So she put that in there. And I was really, really sad through most of this book. I didn't expect that to happen. But Quinn and Blay, they progress further on into their relationship as well. Z, again, a lot of progress on his part as well. I really enjoyed seeing that. I also believe that Warning was like a runner-up to what's going to happen into the last book, because what J.R. Ward said was like, basically it's going to be going back to the roots. What was the next book called again? Lover Unveiled. And I think because of that Warning, Davina is going to have a big central part in that book. So this could be like the foreshadowing of what's going to happen. Again, this was basically a deep book. Okay, I haven't felt this kind of emotions since Between Rage and Fury's books. And those were the early on books. So for people who are going to read this, there is that warning and what's going to happen. If y'all still want to read it, I'm just letting you know what's gonna happen, especially if you made it through the spoiler section. I did not expect this, so that was a surprise. I'm not really that much surprised when it comes to Brotherhood books. I enjoy them, but when it comes to this kind of surprise, I didn't expect that. It got me right in the feels, emotions. I haven't felt these in a very long time. I hope the best for Blay and Quinn, because they made it over this, and that they were able to fulfill Lucas's wish. The love of his life is able to move on, knowing that the person that she loved wholeheartedly will be waiting for her. Z, very good on his progression. I enjoyed that very, very much. And Davina, I got my eye on you. And yeah, A Warm Heart in Winter by J.R. Ward, a Caldwell Christmas book. 5 out of 5 stars. My name is Sarah, and bye!